There's an old story about a fellow who wins 20 million on the lottery. And he says, I'm going to buy a Rolls Royce. I've always wanted a Rolls Royce all my life. But his friend says, well, are you sure, a Rolls Royce, it's pretty flashy. People might think you've changed and all that. So instead he says, well, all right, I'm going to get a Mercedes. And then someone says, well, you're going to struggle to park in the town with that. So then he goes, well, maybe I'll get a little hatchback, a little compact car. Petrol's expensive, insurance is expensive. Maybe you should get a bike. But he gets a bike. And the weather's awful, the roads are full of potholes, so someone suggested try walking. It's good for you. So he walks. Trouble with walking is it takes ages. So eventually he picks up a hoop and stick. And like a child in some Victorian novel, it's a nice day. So he decides to take his hoop and stick for a spin in the countryside. And he stops at a country pub. He leans his hoop on a stick against the wall and pops inside for a pipe. And when he comes out, it's gone. It's been stolen. He stares in disbelief, and a few of the punters sympathise with him. But don't worry, one of them says. You're rich. You can easily get another one. Oh, that's fine, he says. But how the hell am I going to get home? My name is Michael Dawson, the author of Quit Your Diet, and if you're done with diets and meal plans and calorie counters, then you're in the right place. I'm here to help you build a personal plan to quitting diets forever in 14 days. Membership on my website is currently free, and it gives you access to all the tools, the PDFs, the downloads, and there's a 12-question quiz around here somewhere to help you determine your level of change and how you can improve it. In this short video series, we're talking about the 7 assumptions. Assumptions affect the way we speak and interact with people. So these 7 are my personal 7 that I use with all of my clients, and I would use these assumptions about you. I would also suggest you use these 7 assumptions about yourself, which is the whole point of this little series of videos. So there's a video at the beginning of this playlist with a deeper overview, but today I want to talk about, it's an interesting idea. Today's problem is yesterday's solution. So just like the guy in the story with the hoop and stick I just told, we often replace one problem with a solution that maybe creates a separate problem, and so on and so on. I think that illustrates that really, really well. Well, we're here as a group looking for a roadmap to quitting diets forever, to get off the treadmill of success and failure. So how does this concept help us? I think all of my 7 assumptions can be helpful for lots of problems in our lives. So it's possible that our weight problem is a solution to another problem. When I say weight problem, most people think I mean your weight. I don't. I mean weight problem. The obsession with weight, the foods, the macros, the calories, that's all encouraged through diet culture. This has no connection to what actual weight you are. I think this is a weight problem when you have that food obsession, because there are millions of people who don't think or obsess over these things. And I call them in my book the weightless. And when I say that, I imagine that you would love to think like them and be like them. They are the people who think differently about things. They don't think about food all day long and calories all day long, okay? They think about hanging out with the grandkids. They think about mowing the lawn or the football results. They're free of this diet culture. And are they supermodels, buff athletes? No, mostly not. They're just day-to-day people. But they hold the answer to our problem. Just to be clear, you can be overweight, underweight, or normal weight and still have a weight problem in my definition. The question then becomes, what is the problem that was there yesterday that our obsession covers? There was something that encouraged us to do something about our weight. So what do? Well, the answer seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? Let's go on a diet. After all, you want to lose weight, you go on a diet. We then develop this obsession with food. We try to control natural urges. And as the diet industry suggests, we diarize it, we log it, we check our progress. But as I always say, why not? This makes perfect sense. But this is very different to any other approach I have ever worked with in all kinds of deep-seated struggles with my clients, because we look at solutions instead of the problem. In fact, we look anywhere but at the problem. I never imagined telling an alcoholic to count his alcohol, and in fact that I would sell him some low alcohol beer. That would seem really weird, and yet that's what happens within the diet industry. One of the biggest illustrations of this, and there are many, is a project in Scotland for drug users. They don't count the drugs they use or keep a diary. Guess what they do instead? They build boats. So nothing could be further from the drug abuse that they've been going through. And this is immensely successful, and it has been for years. So we can now assume that it makes sense that we look elsewhere during the course of our diet. That's really not happening. I'd like to introduce you to the idea that it's the diet that's our current problem. It's not the weight. It's accepted in our culture as the go-to solution, and maybe it's the solution that's wrong. Just like the guy at the beginning with the hoop and stick, we kind of got caught up in a cycle of solutions that eventually evolved into a solution that doesn't work, and now we're trapped. There's no way of getting home, even though the hoop and stick was never it anyway. When I first heard about the boat building projects in Scotland, it blew my mind, but it did make perfect sense. It was so far from drug use. It provided an interest and a focus elsewhere that it just had to be a success. The problem is, there's never been a real solution to diets. But I hope there is one now. Everyone has quit a diet, fallen off the wagon. In fact, in my last video, I talked about that as being part of the actual diet process. The quitting and falling off the diet at the end is part of it. And instead, after years as a talk therapist, using tools and techniques that have helped millions, I designed a system that's completely different. What if we can replace the wrong solution to our problem with one that works and is appropriate? In the Quit Your Diet program, you'll quit your diet. We've done that before. But this time you'll know exactly when you are quitting diets forever. But more importantly than ever is that you will know exactly what you're going to do instead. Because today's problem was once a solution to another problem. And I think it's that solution that's wrong. Now, I've used these assumptions in this series for years. They've helped me to shift my thinking about clients and the issues they come to me with. Today's problem was once a solution to another problem, I think, is the complete phrasing of it. So we had a problem, naturally we chose diets as a solution, and off we went down this rabbit hole. Now we can't find a way out, but now there is one. So I'm going to help you build an escape plan, and in 14 days, be ready to take the leap. Remember, I don't do these videos just for weight issues. They're effective across the board. Your current problem was once a solution, but maybe it was a solution that was wrong. And I hope that idea sets your mind whirring. So if you want to join us on this journey, membership to my website is currently free, and you can access all of the downloads, zip files, electronic tools to help you if you want to join us on this journey of freedom. There's some work to do. But after all the work you've done, chasing the wrong solution, maybe this 14 days, it's going to be a lot easier. As they say in NLP, if what you're doing isn't working, try anything else. So if you're interested in finding your level of change, there's a 12-question quiz around here somewhere, and when you complete it, I'll send you some tools and a video to help you. I hope you found these ideas interesting. Thank you so much for being there. A quick favour, if you've gained any value whatsoever, if you gave me half a second, tap on the thumbs up. It just helps us spread this message and free more people from diets forever. Subscribe if you feel the need, so we will pop into your feed occasionally, and check out some of the other videos on my channel. Thank you for being there. I upload twice a week. Thoughts, ideas and tips, and I invite all my free subscribers to my group live sessions within the community, and I'd love to see you there. See you in the next video. Thanks so much for listening.